Hi there, this is Rena. Several months ago, I made a video titled How to Make Your Home Practice a Homey Practice. It surrounded the idea of turning basic items into yoga props so you don't feel like you're lacking and missing out on the yoga studio experience. Now that we're several months into the global pandemic, I think we have to be realistic about how our practice is at this stage and also how it is moving forward. And what's important for me is that you don't break your bank. You're very sensible about the choices you make, and you don't have to feel pressured to rush out to get all the things to make it a complete experience. So do tune in, follow along, and maybe check out what this guy does. By the way, this is Coco. He is perfect, if not perfect, in attendance, well-attended student, the most well-attended student, but also the most underperforming student and combative one, even though it's a non-competitive space. So let's move along to the real stuff. I'll show 3 things that we'll use and several ways. And the first one is this nursing pillow. So conventionally, you'll use this around your waist and you'll have the baby resting on top of the thicker, bigger surface. It's firm enough so the baby feels fully supported, but it's light enough so that this doesn't add any load onto your back. Now, what I'd like to do is show you how this makes sense for my yoga or my meditation practice. Now, I'd like to use this as a platform to support my arms on. And I usually just web my fingers, keep it together. I like a closed chain experience because I have very loose joints, unstable joints. And if I were to just extend my arms that way, eventually when I come out of it, I'll feel some strain. So just allowing myself to trust the support I have for my arms, and also lessen the burden of my shoulders, allowing my armpits to soften, allowing my elbows to drop, gives me a more relaxed experience and therefore a more focused experience during meditation. You can use this to, of course, sit on, so place this under your hips, place it under your legs in any which way, but I like to share this nifty tip of using it for sideline positions. So for my expecting moms who are told to lie on their left side mostly because lying on your back will create all sorts of things with your growing baby and your growing belly, place this on the shoulder. And you don't have to run out to get a temper pillow that costs an arm and a leg. Now, with this, you have a snug experience of this pillow hugging you from the front and the back without it being heavy. But you want to find something that's dense enough so that when you rest your head on, maybe have a few more pillows underneath if you like, you still feel fully supported and there's space for your arm and you're not sinking all the weight of your chest, all the weight of your torso onto that bottom arm or shoulder. You can extend your arm in front. You can also just wrap your arms here. You can also add another pillow in between the legs to keep the hips neutral. You can also add something in the back so you feel supported. And maybe every now and then you can roll a little bit more onto your back. And because the pillow is there to support you, you won't end up rolling down fully. And that's nice. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is not an unfamiliar prop for my videos, but I'll show you or explain to you why I find it important. So this is a travel pillow that's usually meant for around your neck. But I like using this instead of an eye mask because you can buckle it and it still fully surrounds your head. It's also quite malleable because the micro beads inside move around, and it's not as heavy as a sandbag, doesn't even have rice in it, so it's very light. So if you were to lie here, lay down, and have this block out any harsh light that might affect the senses. This feels super feather light against your eyelids. It doesn't cause added weight, no added pressure. And it's also made with, I guess, like a more cooling fabric, so that it's not too warm against your face. But on to the next. So give that a try. Let me move these things aside and show the last bit, which is the towel. I work with a beach towel because it's a little thicker than a bath towel and maybe just a little wider or bigger too. So there's more surface area, surface fabric to work with. I'm going to turn it around so that the outer edges meet each other, fold them together, and then start to fold it or roll it. And really roll it tightly so that you don't leave a lot of room or space. In the previous video, I had rolled it from the folded side, but there's a purpose behind rolling it from that edge side, because by doing so, it gives this just a little bit more structure. You can actually kind of manipulate it without it flopping out as much. And you also don't feel that hardened edge whenever you come into contact with the towel, which is nice. You can use this under the legs. You can also use this with one side under the leg and one side in between. You can also use this with the support to the side of your hip, and it allows you to fill in the gap of the side of the waist. You can also bring this forward or bring this upward and use it as an added pillow, support for the head, for support for the neck. Now, another way of using this is by tucking the opposite ends in and allowing it to become like a little dam of sorts. And I'll demonstrate to you here that I can place my legs here, and because the outer edges are higher and thicker, it acts as a barricade, and my legs don't feel like they have to roll fully outwards and won't be impacting my hips because of that. You can have this under your thighs, under your knees, under your calves, or under your ankles, wherever it feels the best for you. And not only that, you can keep using this shape and maybe even use this to support your knees. But you can also use this to massage the legs too. As you march here, one leg up and down at a time. You can scoot forward, you can scoot back, depending on what area you want to target. You can also place this behind you on top of your legs so that it acts as an added pressure against your calves when you lift your hips up and drop your hips down to massage the bottom legs too. And you can just rock your hips side to side, shift your hips, shift your weight, and just swaying here feels relatively nice. Now, there's just a little bit more I want to show you, and this is for loosening up any hardened tension in your abdominal wall. Make sure that you do it on a relatively emptier stomach though. So roll down onto your arms, onto your legs, elbows and knees to catch your weight. And you'll use that kind of shift your weight left to right too. Now you may want to start out maybe 3 inches below the navel, and depending on how it feels for you, if you enjoy the experience, you can also scoot higher, but go gradual and be very conservative about the movement here. There are a lot of organs there that you also want to be mindful about. If the presence underneath feels a little bit more comfortable than before, you can spread your legs, spread your arms wider. Take your forehead down, take your chin down. And then allow your belly to inflate, let it grow big as you inhale. Allow your belly to deflate, let it soften, let it grow smaller as you exhale. Inhale, belly big. Exhale, belly small. And after several rounds, hopefully your belly starts to yield. Now, if there are still other areas that feel like it needs some kneading and some soothing touch, you can roll onto your backside and not even look for a foam roller here, because this will replicate that. Place it between your shoulder blades. You can start out in the middle back region, resting the back of your shoulders, resting the back of your head down. That way you don't have to crane your head or like strain your neck. And you can also just roll side to side here to add the pressure of your body weight against those areas. Now you can use your feet to scoot down or use your hips to scoot up. And find that sweet spot where the pressure of the towel is almost unrecognizable. See if you can linger here and then just give in to gravity, give in to the space. Again, let your arms spread in a loose, happy cactus shape. Maybe even let your arms widen if you have ample room for that. So these are a few things that I'd like for you to chew on and maybe give it a try on your own with your own things at your own space. Just be attentive to the sensations in your body. If there's any sharp shooting pain, pull yourself back. If there's something that's unfamiliar, maybe a slight discomfort, listen in and ask your body. Ask yourself what that means too. And if it's something worth exploring, maybe give it a go every now and then. Be observant of your body. And be kind to your mind too. So that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed all of this, and do touch base whenever, wherever. So take care. Bye.